What's up everyone, Fritz here again with another episode of Sneakerhead Ambition, and today I just have a few updates for you on just what I've been doing in general, how I've been changing my approach to botting, at least like what I'm focused on from a daily to weekly perspective, and just a few other things that I have in the works that should be helpful to you all from an information standpoint in the future. So starting off, I've definitely not been posting as much as I typically have over the past year. A big reason for that is just that I'm in the process of onboarding a virtual assistant to handle all my video editing, photos, graphics, just general tasks that I know that pretty much anybody can do. I know that the video editing isn't that, that's why I got somebody that specializes in that. So I have been on the process of onboarding that. I'm not sure if I've mentioned that in these videos yet. I know that I have a couple live cops that are being worked on right now that I mentioned that in, but I have been in the process of that, and that definitely takes time. So, you know, that's kind of been what I've been doing. Like I mentioned, I have been hitting the stores a lot, but I have been running, like I said, just kind of waiting for these live cops to get put together, and then I've got a new format for y'all that should look a lot better. As far as what I've been doing for botting, I have been not adjusting my approach, right? I'm still running Yeezy Supply, Foot Sites, Finish Line, all that, but I really am starting to put a bigger focus on a couple other sites and a couple other things that I'll go over in this video. But the first one is definitely Nike sneakers and Nike desktop. I will be running that a lot more lately. I have a couple different bots that I'm going to be running, and I have accounts from some providers that I will be able to give to you some discount codes in the future. So that's definitely one of the big things. We have to move where the opportunities are, and sneakers botting has been profitable for a lot of people lately, so that's something that I'm getting into much more heavily at this time. I will be making an entire video on sneakers botting in the next week or so, so definitely check back for that. But I just want to make it clear before you hear somebody hears this that doesn't really know about sneakers botting, goes out and buy a bunch of accounts and a bot, and they're like, hey, I'm ready to roll. Don't do that, right? Sneakers botting is definitely different than your traditional botting, like Yeezy Supply, Foot Sites, Shopify, JD, all of that. But the big thing that you have to consider with sneakers botting is a couple things, right? First is that the accounts really matter, right? It does matter if your account's been clipped, right? If it's, if it's handmade, where it was handmade, the SIM that it was verified on, right? It really does matter the quality of the accounts, all right? Two, the addresses and the proxies and the cards all have to be completely unique. So what do I mean by that? The addresses you cannot manipulate and jig like you do on Yeezy Supply, right? If you do that, your accounts will get filtered, they'll get banned, and you're just not gonna hit, right? So again, accounts, information on those accounts. And three is just the fact that with sneakers botting, right, you don't have the edge that you have on other sites with bots. And what I mean by that is this, right? If you're running Trickle, Valor, Whatbot on Yeezy Supply, right? I don't know which one is gonna cook the most on a given drop, but one of those is going to give you a massive advantage in the task count you have over somebody running the same task count on, like, let's say just a browser based where you pop up browsers and open up a bunch of different browsers, right? You have a significant advantage with the bot. With sneakers botting, you don't really have a significant advantage with the bot after the bot gets your entries in. So you need to remember that it's a volume thing with sneakers. You can't just hope to run 50 and hit a whole bunch of pairs on big drops, right? It's just basic math, right? You've got to just out account people, or just have a number of accounts that you are happy with. But just keep those things in mind, right? The quality of the accounts matter, the information on the accounts matter, and you need to volume it out with the accounts if you really want to build up at scale on sneakers botting. The other two things that I know I've talked about on here in the past couple months, but haven't really generated any content for y'all. I typically stick to the big drops like Yeezy Supply, Foot Sites, Finish Line, things like that. But I'm really gonna try to make two specific episodes coming up, one on Shopify botting and one on automations. I think that both of these are very good options right now, just because of how difficult Yeezy Supply is, how fickle Foot Sites and Finish Line are, right? There's usually more Shopify drops during a given month, right? And there's usually higher ROI items on there, right? So you sometimes get the better stuff that isn't on Foot Sites, right? Isn't on FNL and those type of drops. So I am gonna try to actually give you all more live cops that show Shopify, right? Because that's definitely an area to target right now. And then I'm also definitely gonna show episodes on how I set up my automations with what bots, and then I'll show you all the success in the Discord. Check out logs after that. So I am gonna try to, again, provide you more specific content on those, since I know that those are areas that I'm targeting right now. So check out those videos in the coming weeks, but just know that I do have those in the works, because I think that's pretty valuable at this time. I really do try to be as transparent as humanly possible on this channel. I think the BS level in this space is pretty high. But with that being said, right, I would feel, like I was not lying, but I feel like I wasn't giving you all the full picture if I didn't say this. I think that right now is a very sketchy time to start sneaker botting, all right? It's just the prices on shoes are down, right? The expenses right now for the resources like proxies and servers you need are through the roof. It just isn't the best time to start. Now, I'll go into that a little more detail, right? The big thing that I kind of want to say is don't be romantic about sneaker botting. And what does that mean? It means like some of y'all, I think, want to get into sneaker botting, right? To do the sneaker botting, and it feels like you're doing all this tech stuff, right? It feels like but right now, right, I don't know that that's the best option for people that are starting off just because of the costs that I've gone over. I think that right now, going to stores, doing in-store flips, doing Amazon FBA, things like that are a much better option. It's not that bots don't work. It's not that it's impossible to do. But right now, just based on the market, right, you don't have that many shoes, depending on your selling network, right? If you go to shows and you have local buyers that pay above asking price, okay. But a lot of the shoes right now that are dropping, that typically a year or two ago you could have flipped for $20, $30 a pair, if you really factor in all of the fees, the shipping to the customer, the fees on the platform, if you do, you're not gonna make money on a lot of shoes. Now, why does that matter? You might say, okay, I won't run for those. That's where you're gonna get better, right? You're not gonna roll into a drop that's like, I don't know, a Yeezy Onyx drop or like a big drop where everybody's running and the heavy hitters are running. You're not gonna roll into that and hit a bunch of pairs, right? I didn't start off hitting the hardest drops, right? I had to run for stuff that like wasn't as profitable, but was still at the time profitable. You need to not be romantic about this and be objective about how you're doing, right? This is a business. If you lose money every month, you're not gonna be in business for long. While you could possibly be building up your inventory from retail price shoes, right, at a store. Now you might be like, hey, but I can't hit 10 of them. I gotta be honest with you. I didn't hit 10 pairs on a drop for over a year. So, I'm not telling y'all not to try, right? I think that it can still be done, but I do think that since I've been in this space for 3 to 4 years, I've been reselling for about 5 years, this is the hardest it's ever been, just on a wide variety of aspects. So I just want to tell y'all that. I think that you can do this if you kind of follow a lot of the stuff I've said on this channel, being frugal with the bot purchases, not getting out over your skis, right? Waiting until you've hit one pair consistently on a couple drops and then up your scale, right? There's just a lot to consider. So I'm not telling you all not to try, but I am telling you all to just be realistic about what you're getting into and your chances of success depending on the money that you have coming into this. But just as an example, like a year or two ago, bot prices would have been a lot higher, all right? So some of you might be like, hey, why not get into botting right now? The prices are down. Yes, but your ability to hit with those bots is severely compromised compared to last year, all right? Now, with that being said, right, that is the one positive right now of botting. If you do get into it right now, don't buy everything. Just buy one bot, all right? And don't buy one bot if that costs you every penny you have. But just get one bot, right? A year or two ago, they were all 3 to 4 times more expensive. You could get one bot, get in a cook group, like I talk about all the time, and just try to hit a pair. Don't spend a lot of money on proxies. Don't get a bunch of Gmails. Just get a bot. If you secure the bot at this price and learn to use it over time, that's a great start. If you come in and you see me running Trickle, Whatbot, and Valor, and you buy Trickle, Whatbot, and Valor, and you try to run Yeezy Supply, I don't want to tell you that you're not the 1 in 1,000 that it goes well for, but you're probably not. I have a few new partnerships coming up that I will be able to announce in about a week or so. I'm really excited that I'm starting to work with one of the best, if not the best, cook group in the space. So I do have a lot of y'all that often ask me, what cook group should I get in? Where's the wait list? How do I do that? Next week, I believe I'm going to be able to start talking about it, but I will have a wait list up for one of the best groups, like I said, if not the best group in the space. So definitely check back in the upcoming videos. I should have links in there for you all to get on a special wait list for my subscribers. And again, this is a group that I've been in and used for couple years now, and just is, like I said, top notch, gives some of the best information, amazing group buys, responsive customer service. So I will be excited to announce that, so look for that in the coming weeks. This wasn't in the script, but behind me, Bitcoin just broke 20K. Hopefully we go to 10. The last thing I'm gonna touch on is just something that's pretty universal advice for anybody that's starting a reselling business, is just how you go about working with your business, all right? I've been working a lot more on my business lately, working with a video editor, right? Getting the virtual assistant, getting these systems in place so that I can do more of what only I can do in this space, right? Can I have somebody transfer information from an Excel sheet to here? Yes, right? Can I have somebody answer, some questions from people on the different platforms I sell on? Yes. Can I have them, get all my proxy lists? I can have them do a lot of things. And then, like I said, I did get a specialist to do video editing, content create, right? A lot of those things. That's working on your business, okay? Working in your business is definitely vital, right? Working in your business would be doing the shipping, sourcing shoes, setting up for a drop, right? Those are things that if you're doing on a daily basis, yeah, you need to do them. But if you never take a step back to try to improve the efficiency of the systems within your business isn't going to grow. And I just wanted to stress this because it can feel like over the past week or two, right? I've felt like I've spent a lot of time going over things that I was already doing, right? I would have had this live cop up on my own because of the system I had in place, right? It wasn't the greatest quality live cop, but it worked, right? And now getting those systems in place and kind of teaching the video editor what to look for on live cops and different things like that, and just generally teaching them the lingo of this space. So just remember that, right? If y'all have ever heard of the book, it's called The E-Myth Revisited. I think Michael Gerber wrote it. But that's a concept in there that really has helped me and will help a lot of people if they don't think about it, because some people might be like, man, I'm hustling hard. And they're like, I'm working 12 hours a day in my business. Okay. I respect that, right? That's the first step. But are you working an hour or so or a couple hours a week on improving how you run your business, right? The two seem very similar, but they really aren't. And it's just something to consider moving forward, that you need to spend time planning how your systems are going to grow, not just your inventory. As always, a massive shout out and thank you to my sponsors. I may have mentioned this in a video, but this should be the last video without their logos up on the screen, my logo up on the screen, pictures up and everything, right? So I know I've said this before, but thank you to my sponsors for bearing with me while I provide quality content at not that great of a production value. So per usual, if you need any proxies, Gmails, accounts, servers, right? I work with great companies. You can find their information in the information section below. There are discounts down there and also Discord invites. So if you need any of that for, heading into Q4, definitely check that out. As always, thanks for watching this video. I will have, like I said, the next video I should have up in the next couple days. Should be the first of a higher quality series I'll be producing. So check back in the next week or so. This really just was a quick update to kind of check in with y'all and tell you what I've been doing and kind of where I'm headed from a mindset perspective in this space. But until next week, whenever you see that next video, definitely check me out on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. I post reselling content on those platforms daily. And until next time, see ya.